Throughout history and around the world, women have had both very similar and extremely different experiences. And while every experience of every woman internationally and historically cannot even begin to be represented in a selection of 4 poems, and I make no attempt to do so, my selection does represent the experiences of some women, and those experiences can be similarly recognized in others. The 4 poems I'm going to read to you today are very independent of each other and unique in theme, but they all concern the oppression of women. My first poem is called I'll Tell You What Happened, and it is my response to the Langston Hughes poem, A Dream Deferred. For those of you unaware of the poem, Hughes poses the question, what happens to a dream deferred? And then he provides a few possible options for what might happen. I'll tell you what happens. Dreams are wishes your heart makes when you are fast asleep, only in a fairy tale or nursery rhyme. That far-out goal where if you shoot for the moon, you'll always land amongst the stars. That is shit your second-grade teacher tells you, a self-esteem booster for those kids who always fail, that poster which hangs dust-covered on the high school counselor's wall. Deferred dreams do not dry up, fester and ooze, run down the side of your leg, sink to high heaven, weigh down your shoulders to cause scoliosis, or make your mouth water with crusty candy goodness. Unfulfilled dreams are still hopes in your head, bits of your heart, lingering, sagging, affecting the pump of blood, not unlike the chip on your shoulder, keeping you back and hindering your steps. Ambitions of youth remain when the final aim dissolves. 1 minute the desire to be famous, rich, and loved. The next, your lazy ass sits on the couch watching others live their lives and dreams. Take a balloon for your birthday. Ready to hang? Purely a decoration. Unimportant, you think. The deferred dream you keep pumping hot air into. Deep breath, exhale into latex. Breathe again, push more in. Keep getting bigger and bigger, more swollen. Your mind drifts toward the more important, less trivial things. Not the balloon, not your dream. Exhale again, and the sudden pop, that snap fails, of latex and ambition bursts in your face. Loud bang startles you and those in the vicinity. Langston Hughes was right. My second poem is called Dangers of Technology. It's written in 2 parts. This poem was inspired by a talk Cynthia Enlow gave last fall here at UNL as part of our Women's and Gender Studies Fall Colloquium series. The title of her talk was called Picking Up the Pieces, When is War Really Over in Women's Lives? Dangers of Technology, Part 1. I sprained my ankle. How? What happened? You'll laugh when I tell you. Height of steps misinterpreted. Balance out of balance. Overcorrecting and stumbling. Hand grasping cell phone slams into the ground. Clenched fingers are loosening. Now shattered screams. My stubbed toe, bloody and swollen under the nail. It's not the flip-flops make walking dangerous. Uneven concrete surface of the sidewalk, camouflaged in the blur. Focus on QWERTY and not in front, where I am headed. Parking meter easier to notice, easier to avoid, present at the same level and technological, like the device holding both gaze and thumb tips in palm. Changing paths to not crash, not collide. Part 2. They bombed a boutique. Why? What happened? You won't believe if I tell you. People around the world ignored. Violence escalating. Morphing and destroying. Men gathering militias against women. Political potential was growing. Now demolished lives. A woman dead, torn and oozing from the limbs. If not the soldiers make wars dangerous. Unemployed male population of the country paid to be violent. Money for maintaining and not destroying social fabric of the nation. Military actions easier to notice, easier to judge, present at the same level and domestic, like the death holding both our breath and hearts in America, changing perceptions to not realize, not understand. My third poem is pretty self-explanatory. It is a mostly found poem, or a collage poem, similar to what Amy was talking about. Not a monokini, a mostly found poem. The start of bikini boot camp, my mostly naked body reflected fluorescently in a 3-panel mirror. Halterkini to maximize bust line, tankini to minimize tummy rolls, camkini, pankini, skirtini, all itsy-bitsy and teeny-weeny. Whatever happened to the long-sleeved woolen smock? Women capering along the edge of the pool in scanty bandeau and brief. You're not actually going to get your new suit wet, are you? Bought on Madison Avenue, $105 on sale? I don't think so. Perusing another rack of come-hither, one-shoulder numbers, there is nothing for the intellectual bohemian, nothing that adds modesty and style, nothing that you would actually wear poolside. Nothing, and you're as ostentatious as a member of the Blue Man Group, or maybe everyone is similarly eye-popping, forcing cartoon eyes to dart from sockets as the goal, luring in the unexpecting male like a shark to exposed flesh. A true bikini, said the man who invented it, can be pulled through a wedding ring.